So hello, everyone. My name is Jakub Polaczyk. I'm the director of the Chopin and Friends Festival. This year we have 24th edition. And as a closing concert on November 17, we have a special distinguished artist, FEI, who will be performing for us two works. She'll be closing the festival, The Polish Consulate. She will play for us piece by Claude Debussy, Suite pour le piano, and Andante Spianato and Great Grand Polonaise, E-flat major, opus 22 by Chopin. And I'm very honored that she has time to share a little bit her experience also with Chopin, because we know her, of course, very well from the Chopin competition. She was in the semi-finalist, and she also attended, she was finalist on the Van Cliburn. She lives currently in New York. She is doing her DMA, but she's been living in the city for many, many years. First of all, I would like to thank you much, FEI, for being with us. Hello.
Hello. Hi, Jacob. Thanks so much for the introduction. Yes.
Thank you very much. You know, I would like to start with you a little bit, maybe if you can tell us, you are in New York, right, for 14 years. So how did you come here? Because originally you come from China.
Yes, I'm originally from Shenzhen, China, which is a city in the southern part of China across from Hong Kong. So I came to New York to study. Originally at the Juilliard School, I did both of my undergrad and master's degrees there. And I did recently start my doctoral studies at Manhattan School of Music with Mr. Yefim Bronfman. Yes.
Amazing, wonderful, wonderful. So you're kind of a New Yorker. You've been living here in the city for such a long time.
Yes.
So you know very well the city. But, you know, tell me before we start a little conversation about those two pieces by Debussy and Chopin. Tell me maybe a little us. We are having the concert in the Polish Consulate. Also, the title is Chopin in our festival, which is also, of course, not the main composer, but very important for the Polish artists and composers and pianists. Tell me some of your memories with the Chopin competition and maybe with Poland, some concerts shortly.
Yes. Okay? Well, Chopin is one of my favorite composers, really. And I grew up, he was one of the first composers I ever played. And one of the first competitions that I've ever won in my life when I was very little was a Chopin competition in Hong Kong. So, so I have such just close, fond personal memories of Chopin. And when I was going over to Poland to do the big Chopin competition, actually it was a very special time because there was an incident of the volcano in Iceland erupted at that time, and it caused a huge disruption. A lot of the candidates could no longer go there, and the competition had to pause and wait for them to arrive. But for me, it was the other way. It took me some detours to get there, but once I got there, I couldn't leave because there was no flight flying out. But then that really turned the whole experience into an extended but a beautiful one, because I was able to stay much longer than I expected, and I made so many friends in Poland, and I was able to go to the park, the Chopin Park, and just walk around the city. So I always feel there's this very close feelings with the friends that I made in Poland and with the city.
That's wonderful, wonderful memories. But, you know, we remember your amazing performances also from the Chopin competition. And I have a question, because you play this Polonaise Grand Andante Spianato also, right?
Yes.
And probably it's very close to your heart, because that is going to be a piece that will finish our festival this year, Andante Spianato and Grand Polonaise E-flat major. Yes. How is this piece for you, you know, and maybe your personal reflections?
Yes, well, this is a piece that I learned when I was very young, and actually it was when I was it was one of the first pieces that I played with an orchestra, because you know there is also an orchestral version of this piece, and so I have a very it speaks to me very personally. It's really one of my favorite works by Chopin. And I also know when Chopin moved from Warsaw to Paris, and this was one of the pieces that he often liked to play. And it was originally just the Polonaise part. And then, of course, he added the Andante Spianato, which is just a beautiful nocturnal introduction to the Grand Polonaise. So I'm very excited to close the festival with this work, because it's just such defiance and such joy, infectious joy in this work. Yeah.
So it's very close to your heart, right? You are playing this pretty often, right?
Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. And the second composer we'll hear will be Claude Debussy, right?
Yes.
So it's Bergames.
Yes. Yeah. So I think it's interesting to pair these two composers together. And of course, Chopin also lived in Paris for a long time. I think that the colors, they share a lot, the sense of poetry in both of their music is very beautiful. And I think this Debussy, this piece, of course, the emotional climax or the piece that the most beloved part of Suite Bergmask is number 3, the Clair de Lune. But I think as a whole set, it's very interesting because Debussy, certainly in his time, he was such an avant-garde. He was so influential to many of his composers that came after him. But at the same time, in this piece, it's a dance suite. There's the minuet, the passe-pied, and these are all elements that he was using to paying tribute to the Baroque tradition. So it's really a mixture of paying homage to the past as well as forward-looking. So I think it's a very interesting piece. And of course, Suite Bergmask, the Bergmask is very enigmatic what it means. Some people say there's a region in Italy that's called Bergamo, but also it could mean an ancient dance that the dancers would be masked. So I think there's a sense of hidden feelings or just many layers of feelings hidden in this work, which I think is very incredible. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you for sharing, that with us, it's of course very well known.
Yeah.
And also, I think also pretty close to the tradition of the extension of the Chopin.
Yes.
Because Debussy also loved very much. Also, he was inspired by Chopin.
Yes.
Okay, but I also want to ask you one thing. I know you are performing also a lot of Rachmaninoff, and I also noticed recently you had some concerts, right? Even here in New York, right?
Yes.
So can you tell us about your future plans and what you are doing now?
Yeah, I actually just played Rachmaninoff's 3rd concerto as part of a Rachmaninoff Concerti Marathon yesterday in Lincoln Center's Alice Tully Hall.
Congratulations, congratulations.
Thank you. Yes, definitely Rachmaninoff is another romantic composer that I deeply love. And I will be performing some of his solo piano music, which is Moments Musical Opus 16 as his whole set. I'm programming it in my recitals, and also because his 150th anniversary coming up, I'll also be playing his the 2 piano suite as well as his concertos. Yes.
And Rachmaninoff was also connected with New York. Have you seen his grave, by the way, upstate in New York?
Oh, I haven't been, but I know the 3rd piano concerto was actually premiered in New York. So yes, so it was fun to play this piece in the home city where it was premiered.
This is amazing. Last year on the Chopin and Friends Festival, we had Ruslan Shinska, who is the last living actually student of Sergei Rachmaninoff, and she was opening for us the festival with the Chopin prelude, and so there was also connection with this great artist, and she was opening with the Chopin.
The whole genre of prelude is changed forever by Chopin in many ways, I would say, because before Chopin, we always know the Bach's well-tempered clavier, the prelude and fugues, but prelude was always attached to something else. But Chopin was the first composer, because Chopin's 24 preludes are certainly one of my favorite set of works. And he revolutionized this genre of prelude, and Rachmaninoff definitely was influenced. And many other composers, including Gershwin, including Shostakovich, they're all writing, and Debussy even writing preludes as an independent pieces. Yeah.
And each composer had his own stamp to this.
Yes.
It's going to so many directions, which is very fascinating. Actually,
yes.
Right? Fei, I want to ask you, because you are probably going to perform first time at the Polish consulate in New York City. And, I wish you can play more often for us, but do you have also some plans to play in Poland in the near future?
Not right. I don't have any plan to perform there right now, but I do hope I will be able to return to Poland very soon. Yes.
I wish, and we also hope for that. We are looking very much forward for your performance, and thank you very much for sharing your reflection about those 2 works. One more time, I'm saying, Fei, we close the Chopin and Friends Festival November 17 at the Polish Consulate. Entry free, and it starts at 7 p.m. And in the second part of the closing of the concert, she will play for us Suite Bergamesque by Debussy, and last piece will be by Chopin, Andante Spianato and Grand Polonaise E-flat major. So, you know, congratulations for all your great achievements. I wish you a lot of inspirations, and we are looking forward for your performance. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jacob.
Thank you very much.